Hey everybody, welcome back to the Build Show Network. Steve Basic Architect. I got a super treat for you today. Not only are we talking about a really cool detail that I've never done before, but we've got one of the partners from the general contracting team who also is the homeowner of the house. So we get the backstory here on why are we putting a concrete slab as the first floor material here and still putting the basement under. So I want to introduce Christy. Christy and her husband Kurt came to me. We designed this beautiful house. It's going to be, I call it a passive house inspired. We're not going for the certificate, but it's going to be a hell of a house to live in. Zero energy, all those good things, everything, all the decisions are being made the right way. But when they came at me and said, hey, what do you think about putting a concrete floor as the first floor? I said, oh, we're going to do a slab on grade. They said, no, we're going to keep the basement. We just want to do a concrete floor. So, Christy, tell us, how did we get here?
Yeah, sure, Steve. Thank you. Hi, my name is Christy Hassan. I'm from Proper Modern Home. We got here, like you said, we were looking to have a concrete floor, but we still wanted to take advantage of having a basement, right? We were looking for that contemporary look. The house is very modern, very clean, minimal lines, and that concrete floor really complemented that. But here in Maine, it's a great opportunity for us to have a basement too, so that we have a place for our mechanicals, we have places for storage. We're also going to use the space as a workout room, so it was really critical that we maintain the basement and got the concrete floor. And we're so glad that you were able to help us work out that detail, and we're super excited to see the floor poured into place.
The engineer did most of the work on this one, so we figured out how to thoroughly break it. We'll talk about that in another video, but yeah, the idea of it is going to be one of those things. I think when the guests and friends come in, they're just not going to be expecting this, and this is going to be something different that is going to be a little wow factor to it, because yeah, it's I can't wait to come walking through here when the kitchen and everything is in, and then we have the concrete slab there. So
yeah, I think it's going to be a great.
The kitchen's one of your favorite places, so and you did a beautiful job on the kitchen. It's going to complement the floor really nice. But yeah, that's awesome. And I commend you guys for thinking out of the box, because a lot of clients they sometimes don't want to. So this took us both the places we've never been. So no, thank you for that. But any parting words?
No, thank you for this opportunity. We're super excited to have you on the site to check it out before we get the floor poured and we can start putting the interior walls and partitions up. So we can't wait to have you back again. So thank you again.
Yeah, we'll have to come back and we'll do a video when we're getting that poured. But stay tuned. We're going to go back to the studio. We're going to talk about the framing and how do we actually achieve by suspending this concrete slab floor above the basement. So see you back at the studio. All right. So welcome back to the studio. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Christy is a great client, and she's part of a great building team out there doing great things. And yeah, my first time doing a concrete slab first floor for a house. I've done them for garages. This is the first time we've actually ever done a slab above a basement for a house. So anyways, guess who's back? Big Red is back. We got a floor foundation steel framing plan. We're going to go through that, talk a little bit about a few things, and let's have at it. All right, so here we have the foundation steel framing plan. So just to give you a sense, this is the outline of that basement. Goes all the way down there, and there's a little appendage there. It comes across here. You got the garage here, and the basement up there. And then we have a little deck out here. All right, so you can see we have a couple things happening. We did extend foundation wall here and here. We actually have a special door going in there, and with the concrete deck on top, that's a special room for the homeowners. We'll leave it at that. But
what you can see out here is that, you know, we have that little jog, and you can see we have a steel beam here, and have one here, and you know, you can see the pattern developing here, right? So that one goes across there, and that one. Man, ability to draw a straight line tonight. Severely challenged. And then we have one that gets picked up inside here. So, basically, you can see how they go. They're somewhat equally spaced, you know, 6'2" 1/4", 7'6", 5'4", 5'8". That one's 30 inches, 6'5", 6'4", 5'11", 5'5". We have the stair opening is framed in here. But basically, it's all set up to be a one-way slab. So we have these steel beams in there, and then we're going to put in the fluted deck that you saw in the images, and it all goes in this direction, and then we'll basically pour the concrete on that. You can see every one of these steel beams goes into a little pocket, and we actually have a video coming up in a couple weeks where I'm down in the basement, and we're going to talk about exactly how we detailed those pockets, insulated them, and have a nice bearing plate. So it's actually a pretty exciting video with that beam pocket there and there. We snuck in some windows, you can see there. But each one of these beams, you can see, called out 14 by 30, I believe, was pretty much the norm, 14 by 30, and I believe that was 14 by 30. This one here ended up being 14 by 61. I think we have a couple columns that come on down on that one, so that had to pick up a load. But basically, these columns are free spanning the full 27 feet across the inside there. And for those of you that aren't familiar, say a 14 by 30 is basically, it's a W means W shape, so it's actually the I-beam there, and they get rolled out, and this is the 14 number, so it's 14 inches. Depending on the weight, the actual dimension is probably something like 13 7/8 through 14 1/4. It depends on the weight. Sometimes those flanges vary just a little bit. The 30 is how much that beam weighs per foot. So that's 30 pounds per foot that beam weighs. So say 30 times 28, I don't know, that's a 800-ish pound beam that gets dropped in there and bearing from one side to the other. We have some light framing there, pour stop to pour that, because it's a two-way slab, or one-way slab. We didn't need support in this direction because the slab is basically spanning in this direction here. So we just need to be able to contain that concrete on there to get that opening down to the bottom. So anyways, that's the foundation plan. It's a typical concrete wall, 10 inches. Beam pockets go in half of that, 5 inches. And yeah, they just sit there. And like I said, stay tuned in a couple weeks. We'll have detail where we come out and talk about exactly what that detail looks like from down in the basement. So, but this gives you the general layout: steel beams, fluted deck, you know, single direction. Talked about the steel beams and how they get designated, and you can see it's in place, some light reinforcing, and by now I would imagine we have the slab. So I got to get up there and we'll shoot some more images of that and give you a follow-up. But that's how we got the deck frame installed in the foundation. All right, so Big Red, time for bed. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed that. It was pretty interesting detailing there to get that concrete slab above the basement, but I'm sure it's going to look good when we get it poured in. We'll return up there, get some photos, and do some follow-up videos. But anyways, if you're looking for more, Build Show Network. Literally thousands of videos there. All my colleagues putting up stuff. I'm putting up stuff. Been putting it up for a couple of years now. You got to watch it 7 times. Well, that is a lot of videos for you to watch. Anyways, go check them out. If you're looking more from me personally, you can find me on Instagram, Steve Basic Architect, putting up stuff daily, talking about all kinds of things in the building industry, stuff that I'm coming across, work that we're working on, cool projects, cool details. It's all there. Go check it out. And then lastly, we have the Unbuild It podcast. It's where my good friends Jake and Pete join me. And the 3 of us, well, we talk everything building. So everything from our favorite books to some of the nerdiest building science tips and or thoughts. So anyways, go check it out. Until next time, long live our buildings.